PayPal, and please ask your friends to subscribe. Well, Catherine Swift, I have to read this, is the president of the Coalition of Concerned Manufacturers and Businesses. She says they're going to get a new name for that. But welcome to the show.
Say.
Let's talk about where Canada is going, because years ago, government was to provide defense, roads, some transit, and now we have government throughout Canada, all levels, saying everybody has to buy electric cars, or we're investing $50 billion into these batteries, or this is what we think and we're putting your money there. Are we simply allowing government to run rampant over Canadians?
Yeah, it depends on the government, but certainly the one we have in Ottawa right now, and some of the provinces, to be fair as well. They think, the foolishness is, they think they can set down a dictate, like X% of cars will be EVs by the year 2030, you know, whatever you want to choose as your date, or 20, whatever, or maybe never. But that's absurd. You have to have something that consumers want to buy. And they've had pretty massive subsidies.
No, wait a second, I'm the Prime Minister, I'm telling you to buy these cars.
Yeah, well, maybe you should be in communist China, is what I would say, instead of in so-called free market Canada. But I think what's interesting on this, particularly with old pushy Stephen Guilbeault there in the Environment Minister portfolio, is in the last few weeks, two courts, one being the Supreme Court, the other being a federal court, have spanked him because some of his legislation overstepped ridiculously into provincial jurisdiction. It said something was scientific, like declaring plastics toxic, which had no truth at all to it. So this goes to show you that when you put ideologues in positions of influence, this is the kind of garbage you get. And thank goodness our courts are deciding against it, because these are unworkable laws.
Well, Catherine, you actually put when you're talking about Guilbeault, he's the fellow who stood up a little while ago and said, I am a socialist.
I think he said he was a Marxist, so even worse.
Well, maybe both. But I mean, the point is, it just seems that government, and you represent manufacturers, people who are doing things, creating things. It seems like government is trying to hammer them down.
Yeah, and it's trying to usurp roles that are, of course, much better placed in the marketplace. And, well, if you're risking your own money, you're always going to do a better job than if you're risking somebody else's money. And this is really what it comes down to, right? These businesses are investing in their business, investing in employees, investing in training and all that kind of stuff. Governments, they're spending our dough. So if things don't work out, it's not like their life changes horribly. No, but I know, it's particularly with big business, they like accepting government money. Oh, well, the crony capitalist era is definitely upon us, where there are so many big firms that take tons of subsidies, or maybe they get a law passed that permits them to overcharge. In Canada, we have a perennial problem with a relatively small market, big geography, small market, small population, and industries that only have a handful of players. Look at telecom, look at airlines, look at banking. I mean, some of our very key industries are uncompetitive, and we pay a lot.
That's the bottom line. We pay a lot. Catherine Swift, thank you very much. 3 minutes. From your comments, I know many of you appreciate the fact that this is where you can get an analysis that you're not going to get in that old school news. Canada needs more informed voters. Please ask your friends to subscribe, and don't forget PayPal. God, let's get paid.